Maxine is on my list of one of the most disappointing movies that I've ever seen, not in just 2024, but out of any movie that I have ever seen. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we're on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. So before the summer, I reviewed the first two movies of the X trilogy. Huge fan of X. I remember watching it with Josh, reviewing that movie, and that movie was instantly in like my top 50 movies of all time. It was legit, and it's still legitimately one of my favorite horror movies. Now, Pearl was good, but at least it kind of gave us something different and unique in the horror genre. You could almost argue that it's almost not a horror movie until like the last 30 45 minutes or so. But the thing about Pearl was Mia Goth fucking shined in that movie. Absolutely shined. She had one of my favorite performances of the year with Pearl. So fast forward to Maxine. I was super excited to watch this movie because of, well, one, Mia Goth. Two, I was very invested in this trilogy and to see where they were going to take the story of X forward, because we got X and then we went backwards in time and focused on Pearl, and then now we're going forward in time to focus on Maxine. And I was just very curious to know what they were going to do with the story. But at the same time, very hesitant to watch this because a lot of fans weren't happy with how this one turned out in comparison to the first two movies. And count me as one of those fans. For the first 30-ish minutes, I kept thinking to myself, I don't really see what the huge issue is with this movie. It's 80s flair and soundtrack were absolutely fantastic. It felt just from the vibes, just different in comparison to the other two movies, and I was digging the hell out of it. But then I kept waiting for something to actually happen, and in the end, I was left empty and soulless, just like this movie. For as flashy as this movie can look, sound, and feel, it never actually has the courage to say anything meaningful. Mia Goth was absolutely incredible in those first two movies, specifically Pearl. And I don't know what happened in the writing process of Maxine, but it just seems like they never really trusted her to carry this movie. They wasted her talent and character in this pointless sequel and conclusion to what seemed like an all-timer of a trilogy. But seriously, what was the point of this movie? It serves no purpose in the X trilogy other than a few references. This could be a standalone film. This could be just some random movie in the universe, not attached to the X name whatsoever, and you wouldn't know any better. The kills are uninspired, with the exclusion of the alley scene, which was absolutely freaking dope, by the way. But literally everything that gave X character is missing from Maxine, and that's the most disappointing thing ever. I feel bamboozled by Ty West, and honestly, it's going to take a lot for me to watch another one of his films after this one. I would not recommend watching this, and in fact, just stick with X if you're in the mood for a slasher film, period. So, needless to say, this movie is not going to end up on my top 10 list of favorite movies of 2024. It will definitely reach the top 10 worst films of 2024 for me. But guys, let me know down in the comments below what you thought about Maxine being the conclusion to this trilogy. Were you left disappointed like myself, or did you actually kind of like it? Let me know down in the comments below. And that's going to be it for me, and I'll catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.